Here's the walk that I animated in the last couple of tutorials, and I've cleaned up the lines so that it's not so rough and ready. Now it's still a very basic stick figure, but it's walking and so it's got a bit of life. I'm going to use this to show you what principles of animation are at work in this simple sequence. A walk cycle can sometimes seem to be so basic and simple, but there are actually a number of important principles at work. The first thing to note are the arcs. I want you to be able to recognize them and also to know what you should be aiming for in your own animation. Let's look at the head. The head follows this arc here, dropping down and rising up. It's not going on a straight up and down cycle. There's a smooth arc travelling forward as the body rises and falls. Likewise on the feet, each foot travels in an arc. If you were to place a marker at the ankle, it would look something like this. The principles of timing and spacing are also at work. You can see that the drawings are spaced quite close together on the up positions, and that means that the animation slows down slightly as he reaches this up point and then moves out of it. And on the down positions where the body drops down, it's quite fast compared to the up positions. So we've got timing and spacing, slow ins and slow outs, and also arcs. And believe it or not, you can also see the principle of squash and stretch here. This down position looks quite exaggerated in isolation, but it can be called a squashed pose in relation to the normal pose. Similarly, the exaggerated up position is in another way a bit of a stretched pose. On its own it looks a bit strange, but playing the animation back it looks very smooth and even. Now we could push these two poses even more if you wanted to give it something of a really bouncy walk, and maybe we'll work into that when we come to working on the pirate character a little bit later in this course. Up next, I'll explain how the principles of overlap and follow through are affecting this animation.